Very nice.
Interesting to see as well how, I mean, in the mid lane, Kunkka versus Puck. I mean, is it just better for the Kunkka in the sense that he's tanky enough to deal with the damage and, you know, can sort of tease out that...
Even some Lion picks, which haven't been doing so great, but instant disables versus Puck, it's always going to be... You're going to catch him at least once or twice.
For sure.
In the game.
Yeah, it does feel like you have to have that against Puck. I mean, this hero seems very, very strong at the moment, and... It just seems like there's a lot of players that are very good at Puck in this patch. And, you know, it's something that it's been spammed through the pubs. Pretty much in most games, it seems at a high level.
I've been really liking seeing it though. I like seeing the like either Shadow Shaman, Rubik, or Lion. One of those three versus Puck. You have to have it, or should have it. The Bruce is just not as reliable anymore now that you can just face.
I mean, dude, look at this top. Look at this Shaman top. It's just beating both of them out of the lane.
I had a feeling this might happen. You know, they can't. They both have some of the literal worst 2 base damage heroes probably in the game. Right, 46 to 53. Dude,
It's just
not easy.
No, he's just walking up and punching them.
Yeah. Besides techies, these are 2 of the lower ones.
I mean, you're right. Already, we are really starting to see it look pretty grim here for Crystallis. He is.
Yeah.
He's just not going to get any farm in these first few waves unless they're able to make some, you know, great pulls and get it under the tower. But even then, you know, it's still not going to be easy for him. It's very much likely that he's going to have stuff denied right in front of his place underneath his tower by the Shaman.
And Wish is doing an excellent job in mid lane. Marine has dodged most of those phase shifts, but Wish is just dominating the last hits. Marine has actually missed quite a lot of them that were pretty free for himself.
Solid stuff here from Wish. And I'd just be interested to see how efficient he is going to be able to make this. And what sort of build he goes for. I mean, we don't see an awful lot of Kunkka nowadays. What sort of way do you like to see the Kunkka being built? I mean, you still start with your phase, right? And then are you going Armlet, you going Shadow Blade for setups, or do you want to see something more greedy?
Not sure for this game. He's got, and if he wants to go for like the best build to like get ready for like if things go wrong, right? It can be that Halberd because he's playing versus Medusa. It'll just be the best item for the later stages. But I feel like if he just builds like his team items and they just go for that big push, they win in 20. He might best to do like some little press or some like just BKB, something like that, so that he withstands everything.
And to sort of the same extent, would you imagine that focus on the troll? He's not going to get farming item. He is going to build for sort of fighting. We're not going to see a sort of Battle Fury troll. You don't think that would be a good idea to say, hey, we're going to try and scale against the lineup of Dire?
I don't see a point to. He might just because they have such a good window that they're just so far ahead. He might see that I'm getting 0 pressure on me as a troll. Maybe he will just go for the farm, but don't think he needs to in this at all. I think he can just go for just the standard like S and Y. Maybe even just go for early diffuse. Crazy stuff like that.
Yeah, and just start killing people.
Hey, I'm always very fond of them getting like even Maelstrom or Diffusal when you're playing versus Wyvern when you're a troll, because then even if they're cold embrace, you're still doing stuff. You're neither mana burning.
Oh, that's that's true actually. I mean the Diffusal in particular, absolutely against the Medusa, right? And against Axe. I mean against most of these heroes, any of them that get sort of disabled and focused down by this troll are going to be.
It's a bit unorthodox. But because
we don't see it much anymore.
Versus Medusa and Wyvern, it ticks up, right? It gets much better.
Regeneration!
Well, we'll see Wish here would actually grab that from underneath Mal as well, so he's got it. Alex not quite able to come over in time to help with the green control. Try and go on Wish here. Some good body blocks, but not quite enough. So that's the Verifier, good to go. Is going to have to take a trip back to base. The time out of the lane and a bit of room for Mal to catch back up.
And let's take a look at these
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh no. I mean, it's tough. It was never going to be an easy lane for Crystallis.
No, they're able to actually get some pulls on and get the lane reset. But we see on the other side, Stomina is getting a pull as well. Be able to deny that whole wave, and this is going to be a tough early game. Tough 10 minutes. Things goes for Creepwave.
Because it feels like we're going to see Wish try and bait out reaction here from out, but he's able to outplay him there. Of course, very tricky to catch the puck on his own.
Wait, what are you calling? Are you calling him Mal or Marine? I'm just calling him Marine. I like the way.
Because it's either Malmarine or no, is it Malrone? You know, sometimes when you put the one N and an E, you want it to be pronounced as one, right?
Oh, top.
And it's continued struggles for Creepwave up here. I think Malrone's probably the most likely.
Okay, I'm
probably just gonna
keep saying Marine.
Marine.
I hope that's right, because it looks like Marine to me.
I mean, it does, but there's an L.
Yeah, the L.
You know what I mean? The L. Oh, Spartan.
He actually walks right up into them.
He's got pretty full charge. Yeah, he's fine. He's out to the side. How's the farm?
Though.
Oh, Alex is trying for it. Oh, deny
Radiant's
it.
courier has been killed.
If only. Wait, can you? No, you can't. Can you? Why can't you deny couriers? You should be able
There'll
to,
be
right?
some toxic stuff going on in games if you could. Oh, they hit my courier once.
Yeah.
Oh, denied.
I think they should add it.
Haste.
Oh, stop. Malorine.
Oh. Hey. Hey.
Oh.
Wish, where is he? Get over it. No, Wish ain't having any of this. He's like, good luck. As Matt was, he's going to be able to get the first blood. Take out Shaman.
Very nice.
And what Wish? Yeah, Wish though, he's going to go for the Shadow Blade build. He's going to make sure he's got the setup, make those movements.
Okay.
Still, I mean, Crystallis, he's gone jungle now, right? He's at it with that lane.
He can't lane.
Yeah.
There's no way he can lane.
Gotta get out.
And this is even more concerning because now SkyLark's got free lane. Book 1 is going to be done. Tower pressure is going to start beginning. Then they can start invading even harder. So we're going to have to watch Fishman try to get the deep push off. Not as good as it used to be. It doesn't feel as good as it used to be for some reason, though. These Wyverns been trying out this hero on live. It doesn't feel as powerful as it.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like that he could be up here and do this, but because the 6 is up and the Necro book's out, you know, it's very likely the SkyLark can just press ult and dive him, right?
They just might in a second here as the Shadow Shaman's finding the wrap. The book is still not quite on the courier. They're rotating the aura.
They don't
really want to get the
They don't need it, really. I mean, he can... okay, he's living. He's living a bit, but his days definitely, they feel numbered.
He got the catapult killed, though, so at least, I mean, he's doing a good job of slowing this push down
Dire's
significantly.
top tower is under attack.
Just been a slight nuisance.
They're even rotating.
Oh, they want to hold it.
Even to get a kill, maybe.
I mean, Mao's got the ult. But, of course, the magic immunity onto SsaSpartan steps out to the side. Still, the chase is there from Mao. Is there enough damage with the urn? There isn't. The Oracle's going to be able to live, and here comes the move from SkyLark. The ult is popped, Savannah's able to turn, Wish is turned up. They combo down the puck. No escape for him, and now they'll be able to continue putting the pressure onto this tower. I mean, it always seemed like it was going to be a risky decision to try and hold that tower against this lineup.
I'm surprised he made the move up there. I think they should have made the executive call. All right, Wyvern, if you die, you die. You actually held the tower for an extra minute and a half or two that wouldn't have happened if you weren't there. That was a big mistake for the puck. He's the one who actually has to salvage this game for a team, and he ruined his own game by trying to make this one.
Bottom line, ITF. It's going to be okay, and yeah, focus as you suggested, going the Maelstrom build, which pretty much becomes sort of the go-to item now for carries in this patch. At least a lot of them.
3K gold lead already. And Lycan is just continuing to pressure top, and they can't stop him. They have to look to try to make an aggressive move bottom, but they can't even set up for focus. They don't have tanking heroes. This is what the panel was talking about, how their lineup is going to take some time to really start to be able to pretty much do anything.
Sure. And
it's going to be Brame just dictating the pace, and we're going to have to see how Creepwave actually, how they counteract this push. It's just going to be this looming death ball that will start coming, and they have to prepare. They have to just get their levels, I think, is the most important thing. Get Fishman 6, get the Nyx 6 so they can set up and attempt to defend these towers. We're getting close to that 10-minute mark. They are getting close at least. It's all a big concern here. They can't make any aggressive move for themselves.
It's now bottom. ATF and Fishman have got to be careful. As you say, now Fishman, he still hasn't quite hit that 6 on him. So no real options to really save his body on the axe for his ATF. Will fall.
Army.
It just feels... At this point, you know, it's definitely going to be a case of Creepwave. Kind of hoping that Brame don't push the issue too much, because every time that Brame group up and go at this sort of timing, you know, this 3K lead is very much felt with the lineup that they have. It's going to be very hard for Creepwave to hold them off it.
they're gonna need just a bit more time for the Medusa, have Stone Gaze online, and they need to land some like 4-man puzzles. When the collapse does come, they have to hope Brame just stand together and they get these big coordinated ults. It's gonna start coming really quickly, and SkyLark is gonna have a book 3 when it does come because of those last few kills that he had. So it's book 3 at 11 minutes from your offlane Lycan. And the Shadow Shaman 2 is gonna have 6, so Serpent Wards will start coming.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, just recovery, full recovery for attempt. Guard those tier 1s. Guard those next 2 tier 1s. The Wyvern and the Pucks have set up.
Is under attack.
Because they cannot look to make a move on their own at all in this game now. They have to wait like 10 minutes plus before they can look to make their own aggressive play.
So we have 11 minutes. And the
farm.
level 3 Necro book done on
Off-lane
SkyLark.
Lycan.
They said they set the lanes up very nicely.
Off to mid now. I feel like Lycan just walks to mid, pops his ult, collapses through the tower. I feel like Fishman has to look to set up around mid. This move bottom, I don't really think it's a good move.
Trying to go on focus, but he's got backups. The Mana's able to turn. He's got the lockdown onto the Wyvern. Will be put to an end by the Impale from Alex. Got the curse to hold back the 2 of them. But obviously having to use the curse in these sort of situations, it's not great for Creepwave. They need that for the defenses. And they're losing Alex, they're losing Fishman and Crystallis. Always TPing out. Is he going to make it away? He is. He's at least able to live. But it's a lot of running away that's having to be done here by Creepwave. And an unfortunate move that again just didn't seem like it was really going to work out there.
I'm so surprised they try to make an aggressive move at all this game. It concerns me a lot because that means that their read in the game is really weird. Because the puck's not there. They have their Nyx, Axe, and Wyvern. There's no damage that comes between the 3 of them really, besides the Vendetta. And they should know how the game is going to be loomingly come down to just pressuring towers and them having to defend these towers with these ults. They cannot commit a Wyvern ult like that at all in this game.
So how would you want to see Creepwave play right now? Is it just all about being around your Medusa, making sure that there's no entry points for Brame towards, and if you are going to defend, just hold on your side of the map behind towers as at least 4 heroes?
I think you just have to at this point. With the way the lanes went and with Medusa draft, you can't make these aggressive moves. If puck is there, maybe, just maybe. I'm still not a big fan of it because of where the positioning of the play is. But if the puck is there, maybe. They can't make these aggressive plays with the way that the game is going and what they're up gonna. These mistakes will cost them so much. Like Wyvern ult's used, bottom tower is now dead, and now Wyvern ult's coming back up. But now the Lycan book is back up, so he's gonna collapse on mid. Now he's gonna start setting up, but they have to approach this properly. Stay around that Medusa, let Brame make the mistake.
I have a bit of a poke on a Crystallis. I mean, yeah, look at that. As soon as the Necro books are on him, it's pretty much his entire mana pool. On in a second. Wish now has the Shadow Blade. Starting to have a bit of a setup onto Fishman, but it's pretty deep here. Tempting to burst him low. And the Necro books as well. He nearly did go down.
But look, they still have their ults. Tower's pretty defended. Axe is getting some cut. They're actually doing a pretty okay defense right now.
Invisibility.
I'm seeing what ATF. Yeah, he's very close to having the blink. So once that is in place, you know, as was mentioned, it is a great defense that they do have. If they can get the jumps with ATF, lock down a few heroes, you know, into this Winter's Curse, Dream Coil, Stone Gaze, that is long enough of a time of a team fight for them to get the kills, even against these farmed heroes.
Absolutely. They gotta just wait for it. Let themselves build up. They gotta get to that moment so that they can get that stuff. Because even Medusa, you know, she's catching back up. Sure, her net worth's not fantastic right now, but she's only 600, 700, 800 behind some of those other cores on the other side. And she does at least have, the point now put in the Stone Gaze, has the evasion talent too, so she's ready to battle. If it all does collapse, she does have her team.
SkyLark.
Here it comes.
He's ready to start diving for kills. He's into the trees. Look what he's found. He's found the Fishman. Fishman will get the curse out. It's not going to do anything at all here. As Crystallis will pop the Stone Gaze. Dream Coil down only onto Wish's Kunkka. ATF getting the call off, but again, it's only onto the one of them. There's a false promise, keeping Wish fine. A second buyback comes away from Alex. Focus, he's ready to fight. He's in the midst of it all, turns over towards the next assassin. Cold Embrace will buy a little bit of safety. ATF trying to draw him away with the call. He's got the dodge. Will manage to bring down Focus. The Crystallis in trouble. He's out of mana as Wish slices him down. They try their best there to pull together the team fight, and there was sort of semblances of what they're capable of, but it's not enough. Not quite able to get the perfect execution they need in this game whilst they're behind. Sure, Focus is down, but they lose 4 heroes here, and 2 buybacks having to come out, and of course all of their ultimates being used in an attempt to turn it.
They were in the right position at least, right? To at least try to set up to go for that. But if you look at the ward positioning from Brame, they got both wards down, both sentries down. The angle of approach, they just got this beautiful surround. They saw everything that Creepwave had. They just pick and choose the cards. They find the Wyvern, kill him quickly. Find Alex, kill him quickly. Alex buys back. He's actually in the front. They just did a great job of preparing for that fight on the side of Brame. Even though Creepwave, I feel like they did an okay job of preparing for it too. They're just that far behind. They do at least have Axe Blink Dagger now. He didn't have it for that last fight, even though he did get that
Radiant
dunk.
are scanning.
7,000 gold lead now, Brame, and a 6,000 XP lead. Continues to grow.
Obviously, SkyLark only has the Vlads for the team. Focus is going to be very happy with that. Focus. And some Wyvern fleet. Always in trouble. He's up on the cliff. They see him.
Radiant's
When the books are just 10 times stronger than your hero, they just kill you.
No, but yeah, it's never fun to play against a fast necro 3. Especially if it's
Radiant's bottom tower is under
It really
attack.
is so scary. Wish
Radiant's bottom tower.
does that will play down bottom. In the meanwhile, they're going to commit for that Roche, and they don't even have to use Turbo or the book or anything. Kill it down. And the push continues. Creepwave have to be prepared. They're getting good farm. Pushing out this way bottom.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just noticed them. Malrine went bot.
I was going to ask about it, because I was trying to think, you know, it's early in the morning. Well, it is, it's not the morning here, but, you know, I was like, hang on, is this what most pucks are going? Are they going for this creep build? Because we do see bots pucks sometimes, but it's not always rushed, right?
No, it's actually been mostly the Witchblade. It's been the Witchblade a lot of the games.
that's
now he went bot Blink. Okay.
Oh, he went Blink as well.
Pretty good. Yeah, his Blink, it's pretty good timing, but I feel like he might need to do a little bit more damage in the fights. He's now got Maelstrom queued up, but we'll see.
I mean, at least that's the right approach after it, right?
That's the right approach.
Saying, well, I gotta get some right click online.
Yeah, I want him to be able to clear out these summons. Like I think Brian was mentioning, you know, the phase shift attack and all that. You phase as you're killing the book, you know, that then you don't have to deal with this last will damage that's really frustrating early on. 7,000 gold lead.
Now, so in these sort of games, the question is, you know, when you look at Brame's lineup, if they do mess up a couple of, you know, high ground pushes, attempts on the racks, and Creepwave's able to hold it, you know, how many times can they do that before the game's suddenly like, well, hang on, Brame's sort of, they've lost that advantage?
Ooh, nice oil up top, stop control PP. I think they could, if they do it a couple, like, maybe 2, even like maybe a 3rd time might just be the breaker where they just win the game. It really depends on if they can ever get map control back. That's one thing too. Because even if they high ground defend infinitely, if they're too far on the defensive where they never push out, they'll never get Roche. And then you're always playing against a troll with Aegis Cheese Refresher, Aghanims, etc. So it's not just 1-1. They have to get something out of when they do.
Focus.
And it's a man to finish. You know, he's at least got one item finished. Focus. No fear.
He's trying to get in on the side, but all these summons are sort of stopping him from having any sort of blink initiation. Crystallis having to pop the stone gates to get out of here. SkyLark, he's just kiting Alex up at the moment with the summons, and indeed Crystallis has been dragged back. There's no save for him with Fishman being dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Mal trying to do his best to just cut the creep wave mid. Stop them from having any chance to push in, but Alex dead outside of the base. Couldn't quite make it back to safety. And Storm, it's Demandan's in position. He's ready for the jump. He knew that he was trying to clear out this creep wave. As it's getting rough. It really is. If it hasn't already.
Hope is starting to really dwindle here, as they're just getting caught too many times. They need to have this. They need to have their defense really prepared and really set up to have a chance in this game with Brame. Draft. It's just much easier to play. All the lanes going so well, and just not being able to just walk at these towers and take them out. Creepwave. Don't find Spartan.
Right. He's not getting any spins though.
He
didn't get any spins. I mean, he'll get the kill, but definitely further. RNG was not on his side there.
He also battle hungered the creep.
Alex.
That's Alex. Poor Alex.
Time for them to get out of it. Oh, he's not got. Oh, he's going to have to sit down here for a little bit. Could work out for him though. Might mean he can cut the creep wave here next.
Wait. Look at the Wish knows. They didn't do the scan. Now they see the Splinter Blast probably. Oh. Fishman.
Wait. He's got the call. He's found SkyLark. Have they got the damage? They might just have him here. They have?
They do? Okay.
All right, ATF making some big moves here, getting kills for the squad.
Dire's bottom tower.
They can keep it up.
Medusa's Manta. Oh, the courier died with Medusa's Manta earlier.
Oh no.
I was like, I thought he had it.
Dire's bottom
always
tower
hurts.
is under attack.
Especially at this time of the game, you know, where it's not dead for too long, but it's dead for long enough that it feels bad. Have to wait sort of a minute or so until you actually have your item out.
Look at Stomanen. He's set up for this puck. He's in Mallory's mind right now. There's a ward right on top of him. It's not going to work this time around, but you know, the thought that counts says Wish, Focus, and Spartan.
Oh, Crystallis.
They find Medusa.
Instantly stunned, guys. Of course, there's going to be a decent amount of lockdown here between the boat and the torrent. Alex is coming over, and he's saving though he cannot. Wish comes in with the Tidebringer hit, gets the kill. Alex, he's trying to run, and he'll be fine. No detection there on the front lines, so Alex will live. Still, Mal continue to cut the waves, but SkyLark. Gotta be careful how he plays around this Maori. He's gonna
he knew where the Rasta was.
Yeah,
he knew where Sto was wrapping around outside.
He was, Stone was perfectly prepared for the other move, but the Mal playing it smart. This is smart. Can they first focus off the agent?
And he's tanky.
He's pretty far. Let's see if they got the damage. Spartan coming in with the snipe. Good impale from Alex. He's got the backup for now. Post is still on cooldown. There's no available. And we are going to see him head back over. They'll be able to get the kill onto Spartan. Now they've got the call on call. They're going to be able to get another. He's doing it with these dunks. He's doing it now. He could be in a bit of a spot of bother. They're chasing him now. Cold embrace. We'll keep him protected. A little bit of time. The boat comes crashing down. ATF will fall. But still 2 kills now, taking away Focus and Spartan. You're removing some of Brame's potential to push their advantage into a victory. You're slowing them down. That's all he needs to do.
And I learned a cool, I mean, I kind of knew a little bit of how that interaction works, but the battle trance with the curse.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
His first target, though, the battle trance continues, but then as soon as the target that he was first going for dies, then the curse supersedes the battle trance to make him hit his. That was kind of cool. Even though there were enemies around. So I guess it's based off the initial, whoever he's first hitting. More time for the Medusa to attempt to get online. Needs a lot more of it.
I mean, they could do it. I feel like I can't remember exactly, but I think in like the Brame's first series, some of the losses that they did have in. Oh. It was picking sniper.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I hear dunks.
Wait, I hear Witch's curse. What's going on?
Wait, what's happening?
I just heard a curse, and I'm like, curse.
We were just hearing the dreams of Creepwave. This is what they were saying. You know, it was going to happen. We're going to see it right now. ATF was envisioning. Yeah, he's a time traveler.
Well, let's see. They gotta get some vision down. They're actually attempting an aggressive move. They have the puck Ags, so.
They've got an insane team fight. It's a single coil. They do come in with a follow-up here from ATF. They've got the stun down and the stone gaze. They will get the kill onto Spartan. Wish has the BKB, of course, doing the pop and focus. He's going to go towards ATF. Cold embrace, protecting ATF a little bit. They have the curse down. Crystallis is trying to get back in out. Kill on focus, but the man has got the lockdown onto Alex. Jump forward again. They've lost. Wish Crystallis He's doing it. They're getting these kills. SkyLark's trying with the TP out. He will make it away. Alex was able to live with the Vendetta as he sneaks away from the Serpent wards. I mean, they're kind of doing it here. They, you know, it's a hard game. There's a hefty advantage against them. But I mean, if they're able to do that on Brame's half of the map, then, you know, maybe what chances do Brame have of pushing the high ground? You know, this is definitely concerning for Brame and their lineup.
Step 1 of 3, right? Look at the items they just all picked up right after that. Crystallis almost has this almost a full butterfly now after it. And also Alex gets a blink so they get better ways to initiate and start fights. Alex likely will die here before too far giving information. But yeah, a big punchback.
Hey, you got the bounce.
Easier ways now for them to start the fight. And he did get it.
No, I think definite concern here for Brame's ability to close it.
That was a one-man coil, too, the way it all kicked off. But
like,
they had great high ground advantage that whole time. The way that they did get the setup, they were in a very good spot to get the fight. A very good position, hit everything.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. It definitely feels like you're bang on with the number 3. I think that happens two more times like that, and the game suddenly gets very hard for Brame.
Yeah, this puck is, I mean, the build is actually working. You know, the bots with the blink caused a little downfall of it. But with this axe, it's going to do big work versus both this troll and the Lycan and most, even versus that Kunkka.
Invisibility.
Gonna be powerful. Focus. He's about to have a BKB, so that is one thing he was missing because he went for just full out greedy. He will have that for this next fight, which will do a lot because I feel like all the damage he really took was the end of the fight. Yeah, butterfly done. Pretty decent. So he probably needs that next item. And they still can't actually look to pry pressure around that Roche area. It's about 1 minute. So maybe they can look to set up some vision right now around the area, but Brame has it fully covered. And Malrine also did buy the Aghanim Shard. So not going to go for that Maelstrom. Not till later on. He wants to just be more that deep fighter. I'm cool with it. I like this Ag Shard a lot on the puck, especially when you're playing when you're playing a 4 protect 1. I think Medusa is probably the best, pushing heroes away from Medusa.
I mean, yeah, that
sounds pretty nice.
It sounds pretty insane as well. I mean, for the free D-warding as well, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to be able to take everything off the map. It's such a low cooldown. You've got all the mana in the world to spam it whenever you want. You know, the D-ward potential is pretty big.
The quicken, yeah, 6 second cool.
There's a 6 second D-ward, dude.
Damage.
You know, you're clearing the map of any sort of vision, which is going to make it rather hard for Brame to push into you.
Wish. Setting up bottom. He does have the X to bring himself back, and he will. Roche. Brame still just lingering around this area, trying to keep their ward coverage there too. We have one stat to try there. Butterfly, Elven Tunic, and the evasion talent on the Medusa. So 54% evasion right now versus no true stress.
That is strong. Yeah, I mean,
the Dream is starting to come together, maybe.
Yeah, this MKB focus. That's gonna take a bit of time.
Yep.
Many thanks. Your admiral is on.
Very likely though to still get this roach control. This Aegis and Cheese will still be a big problem for the side of Creepwave until later on if they can keep this game going. Some slight hope for them.
No, for sure. I mean, they're still down 9k, but it feels like that's sort of been the number for quite a while now. So definitely been flatlining for a bit now, that lead that Brame got early.
Double BKBs. They can poke this now up top.
Radiant's
20 on the troll too, so he has his own evasion talent kicking in.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Let's see how much damage they can get done before Creepwave's able to push them off. Ward's been dispatched pretty easily there by Crystallis. And now they're going to start opening up onto focus. See if they can take him down the once. It's going to be saved here. Spartan's able to get him out.
The forceful reaction, Shadow Shaman wards were used, so Brame, they're going to back up once everybody is in the base there. swing over to grab those bounties, and they still do have control of those outlaws. No experience for the side of the Dire. Brame just reset, so they do have to probably just wait till Serpent Wards are back up and look to pick up these next few items. Wish about to have his AC, so they're close to a few big things here. And like you said, you know, that getting toward those MKBs, very nice for these two big hitters to be able to bring down the Medusa. So focus on Lycan, kind of closer to those.
My chest.
Creepwave just has to play as like this 5-man unit right now. They cannot move away from Chris. The game is all about him. And they still have this vision down too, so they are watching where the troll is right now. Bit tough to make this aggressive move though. Their lanes are being pushed in at the moment.
Into Aegis.
Yeah. And top tower is gonna die. This catapult's actually gonna get this tier 3.
Oh, Crystallis, he's wandering in as the first one, but they'll back off. Neither team is going to be able to find the jump.
And now the racks are revealed up top, and Shadow Shaman wards are back up. So Brame, very likely they just smoke and look to swing their way toward top, maybe push in bottom. Close to both, getting very close to both MKBs. On
yeah,
the,
I mean, that's
Lycan and Troll.
That's going to be the next big timing for sure. But they've got to make sure that they can kill this Medusa in the fight, because right now, you know, as long as there's any sort of ult around Crystallis to enable him, they're not going to kill this Medusa on the high ground siegers.
Crimson Guard to slow down the push.
Focus, yeah, just continuing to feel pretty strong, of course.
They're still pinging. I see them constantly pinging the Shadow Shaman every time. I feel like they're really wanting to put a lot of attention on Stock, because he's this humongous counter for Malrine. Because Malrine's got no way to protect himself. If he gets just caught by a shackle, very likely does die. So I think they really want to look for this Shaman.
They're going to drop the walls down.
Is out.
It's able to catch Spartan and Wish. See if they can get rid of Spartan before he can do anything to help his teammates out. And indeed they do. They burst through the Oracle. Pure focus to watch for the high ground. Roll down. It's going to snap. One Wish is Kunkka. Is now Kunkka falling low, able to put the cheese. ACF over the side, gets the call onto Shaman. They bring down the Shaman. Now they turn attention over towards Wish. He try to hide, but they'll be able to find him with the sentry down. He cannot retreat from these heroes as he'll fall. Focus pops the BKB just to kill off Alex, to stop him from chasing. The rest of Creepwave, they're going to continue to try and move in on him. ATF, he's going to have to blink in a second. He's able to get the Battle Hunger slow down as well. Doesn't want to continue going though. They're going to be happy with this. Again, it's 4 heroes dead, including the Aegis lost from Focus. They're holding.
Yeah, that was a very smart move from SkyLark, actually, going for top and just taking out the racks. I think he's starting to realize it's hard to actually fight into this big amount of team fight that Creepwave does have, so he splits it up a little bit and goes for that.
Yeah, I mean,
this is concerning. This Medusa is starting to be able to hold her ground pretty nicely. Has the next item queued up. You know, that rapier is looking tasty.
Yeah.
She's got a Scotty.
Yeah, we'll see sort of how much difference the MKBs make in the fight, but until they have the MKBs, I think, yeah, that as you say, that's the only way they're going to be able to progress. Looking for sort of the distract and wrap plays with SkyLark's Lycan.
That was Aegis cheese push, and they got pretty dominated because Creepwave knows exactly what they need to go for now. Fishman just starts to fight in the back lines, then it forces reactions. They start to see the positions of these heroes, and then Malrine, Alex, they can all follow up. And this is that dream setup that panel was talking about with their draft. Is the Nyx and Pale is always going to be able to follow up onto that Wyvern curse. So if Fishman finds good setups in a lot of these fights, it's gonna be good for them. Is that a full Mjolnir also on Malrine? You know, these items are starting to trickle in. Solutions to deal with this Brame lineup.
Dust there.
Yeah, he looked like he knew something was up. Like maybe covering the courier.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The Spartan is about to have an Aeon disc too, which is another thing they have to factor in. He would have actually survived in the last situation. He does have that. But definitely still tough fights for Creepwave coming forward here. But if they can execute like that a couple more times, they'll be back in this one. Focus, leading the charge. So they got the slow.
Cool on him. Kunkka down as well and put the BKB and try to run. The boat comes crashing down onto ATF's command and jumping in from the side, but the curse is out. Will disable Wish for a good duration of his BKB. Also, he's going to now get caught. The pulse bomb is SsaSpartan will come out and keep folks alive. Target from Wish out onto ATF and Crystallis. Crystallis got the stun gates up, but he's now out of mana. He's pretty weak here and vulnerable, and they'll be able to crush it. This time round, the team fight not coming into place for Creepwave, as Brame are able to find their target, Spartan's able to live and get his contribution out this time.
That caught them completely off guard. They were not ready for that one. Ishtar might be able to find the puck. Uh-oh. Marine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Was trying to push down this bottom lane, but indeed he's gone, and that is Marine and Crystallis out without buybacks. Gonna be left for another 3 of them for this play.
They're hoping to come back now. Quickly disappearing.
And they were able to find that one fight over Brame's half of the map. That second fight down bottom. Well, on the back of the Brame siege with the Aegis and Cheese, but it just seems like they're not going to be able to find that third one. As Brame still in prime position to close this up. As they get themselves the Megas. And focus is them to start trying to just end the game. They're onto the tier 4s. 15 seconds until Crystallis is back up. Now, what can they do to slow it? They're trying their best Creepwave, but these tier 4s are gone. Over to the Ancient they go. As Alex comes in with one final impale to put a stop to it. They try with a call, but an instant Hex comes out from Shaman, and the game is over. Brame, they'll be able to take this game one with the lineup and maybe with a few hiccups along the way towards the end, but overall just a little too much to the point that any sort of mistake was as far